All right, now we are down on the 08 with CIO David Canfield to talk again about his experiences on the tow out of Sassoon Bay.
Oh man, the tow out of Sassoon was one of 1,000 things I never thought I'd be doing. I was standing right here watching the cable slip from the Cimarron, the USS Cimarron, which we all called the Cinnabon. And as soon as that last cable slipped and she started to pull away, I thought, I'm underway on the battleship. I've been underway on the battleship in 22 years. You know, it was an amazing feeling watching her slip through the water, kind of shake it off. She creaked and moaned and howled a little bit, but it felt so good to be at home. And I pulled my phone out and I called Mike McIntyre, who was my top watch, my boss when I served on here. And I was like, Mac, you will not believe where I am. I am on the 08 level, underway on the Battleship Iowa. It was phenomenal. So there was a lot going on. There's, of course, as part of the institution right now, I know what was going on behind the scenes, but at the time I was kind of the token veteran on board. And so I had a lot of the ship to myself to walk around. All I had to do was stay clear of the lines. I was able to reconnect with Bosun Patnout, who passed away a year or so ago. But that man terrified me. That man scared me to death. And to be able to just sit down and talk to him as like a real human instead of as like a lowly enlisted guy in the bosun was pretty fantastic. So
So you came over this way.
I'm gonna walk over here. So this is where I hung out most of the time, watching it. I mean, it was surreal. And this is such a great view. I used to come up here when I served on the ship. This was a great place to hide because nobody wanted to be up here, and it was a fully functional bridge. And so all of the engine order telegraphs were here, all the speed indicators were here, the communications gear. And you could stay up here, and when I was like eating that thing, I would stay up here and it's like, I'm in charge of the battleship, I'm on the bridge. And it was just really cool. And to be back up here when we were pulling away, going towards Richmond, even though we had 4 tugs on, we had 4 tugs on for power. And they were kicking up a lot of mud. We were concerned we weren't going to get over the sandbar. But even with the tugs, you could just imagine the ship being back alive and moving. And I was hanging out here, and then half of me was stuck in the late 80s, and half of me was here during the tow. And as we rounded the point on Point Richmond, as we came into the port of Richmond, I was standing up here and I was looking down, and there's the little point on Richmond Point. There's a group of people out there, and they've got flags, and one of them has like a little construction paper flag this kid was holding, and I thought, man, that's really cool. That is an amazing thing. It just felt great pulling in there. And I did not realize till later that was my family and those were my kids that were down there. And I only realized that when we finally started to tie up and I'd gone up to the 011 level. And I looked down and realized that here's this family on the pier with their banner and their welcome and their flags. And I got a little emotional, still get a little emotional about it, because when we were in Norfolk, I hated pulling in. And it's not, everybody goes, oh, you hated Norfolk. I didn't have any family back there. I didn't have any family to meet me on the pier. And so I loved being at sea, and I hated pulling back in because I grew up as a Navy brat. I'd been on the pier when people came in, and to come in and watch everybody meet their family and know there wasn't anybody on the pier for you is kind of depressing. So I would trade duty all the time we were underway in foreign ports so that I would have as much duty as I could in Norfolk, because I did not want to go ashore because I didn't have family on the pier. And then here we are 20 plus years later tying up in Richmond, and my family's standing on the pier for the first time in my Navy career. They're standing on the pier waiting for my ship to come in, and that was the perfect ending to what was just a completely surreal day.